Hello, welcome to the Enginerdy Show. This is Mr. Bold.
I'm St. Jimmy.
I'm DVD.
Well, hello there, DVD.
Hello.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It really is. Do you guys always change your sweater and your shoes when you get home?
No,
And
I don't
Talk
wear
to
either of
the
those
camera.
things.
Oh, you can talk to the camera. I didn't know you could talk to it.
Sweater shoes? That sounds made up.
It is. My chair is failing.
Speaking of made up, our fake sponsor this week is Gospel Gowns. Now you can sing gospel music while in hospital with these styling gospel gowns. I didn't know it was going to be a tongue twister.
They're open in the back for ease of access by the doctor. Isn't that why they're open in the back?
I think it's to save
so
on
you
material.
can get them onto unconscious people.
Oh,
okay.
That makes more sense.
It's
I was
hard
thinking
to sing gospel music when you're
use
young.
not
material
obvious.
savings.
I don't know.
How much material are you
Just
saving?
figured maybe you had to have something checked.
Yeah.
And it's easier if you're wearing
I
a
guess
gown.
that
When you get to a certain age?
last time I wore one, it was helpful.
I don't.
Do you think if they're checking your prostate, you should sing gospel music?
Did I wear
that's
one
how
ever?
you make sure your voice doesn't change. I don't know.
I don't remember ever wearing one.
I'm wearing one right now.
Yeah.
Guess not. You can tell.
The same as tearaway pants?
Kind of.
I don't have one of those either.
I'm wearing it under my shirt.
Oh, that'd be comfortable.
I always keep one on in case.
That's helpful.
I don't want to wear a used hospital one. I wear my own.
That's why they're made out of paper. They give you a fresh new one.
They're not made of paper, are they?
Some of them are.
Oh. That's even
Paper.
worse.
Paper. Have you ever seen paper?
I talked to Master Zed last night.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. We Skyped or something.
Or something, huh?
Well, Skype didn't work. My
Oh.
son has taken over my Skype account
Oh,
and changed the username, and it doesn't even look like regular Skype to me anymore. We couldn't get to call
weird.
Master Zed, and he couldn't call me. So he called me through something
FaceTime?
called Messenger.
Oh, Facebook Messenger?
Oh, is that what
Oh,
that is?
yeah, it works.
Probably.
Okay, it worked. Until my phone froze up and rebooted, but
Oh.
then we reconnected. But we were planning my birthday camp out.
Sounds
When your
fun.
phone rebooted, did it have like a weird relationship between Spock and Uhura going on?
Yeah.
That's why it's told from Uhura's perspective.
Oh, the movies?
Oh. So everybody's invited
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
To what?
to my birthday camp out.
Oh,
To
and
Uhura's
Aren't going to.
version
I'm
of
not
Star
going.
Wars.
Mr.
Sorry.
Bold won't be there.
I'm going to do something else.
In-laws planned their anniversary the same time as my birthday.
Yeah.
That's a coincidence, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I get to go back to a place I haven't been to since 1994.
I haven't been back either.
Well, now I'm going to go back and you're not.
Oh.
You're talking about shame?
Well,
You're going. Is this an emotional
going
place
back
or a
in
physical
time.
place?
It's a physical
Oh.
place
Okay.
on the map.
How do you go?
It's the town that my wife and I first met.
It was where I was born.
Aw. I
and
go.
where DVD was born.
I go back to the town where my wife and I met
And where I was
every
born.
year.
Oh, I don't.
Do you know there's a website that you can search for Idaho where you can sort the cities by population size?
Okay.
I was talking to a coworker and he wanted to live in a small town. I was like, I've got the perfect place for my parents to live. It's like, and I told him how many people. It's like, that's too big. I want like 5,000. So I just did Idaho cities by population.
Oh, well, right across the river is a town with
5,000 people.
5,000.
And then it also had, for some reason, the percentage of men versus women.
Oh,
And Fruitland has only got 47% men,
nice.
Weird.
53% women.
Excellent.
And
That's
contrary to popular belief, the men don't all hang out at Gateway Junction.
Just some of them.
You have your very own speed trap, too.
And there's more cops per capita than anywhere else that I've been.
Oh.
Than people. My brother-in-law was a cop there for a while.
Oh,
Now he's the sheriff of a county in eastern Idaho.
2 out of the 3
Whoa.
tickets I've ever gotten were in that town.
What?
2 out of 3?
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody wants to come camping, just let me know and I'll give you the coordinates.
GPS
Let's just say it on the air.
No.
coordinates. He wants to be able to,
Give
filter
people
the wrong
coordinates
one?
based on whether I want them there or not. Like, this is in the ocean.
Make sure you have a boat.
The boat.
You're gonna need a bigger
You
boat.
can make some English ones and put them in there and think, oh, they're coming here. And then they'll just, like, 2 English listeners will meet up.
We're not going to England for my birthday.
Which is too bad.
Why not?
Maybe some other year, but I cannot take very much time off.
Oh,
So
Yeah, I probably got to work some comp time to get there in a timely manner.
okay, I'm just gonna take 2 days off on Friday and on Monday.
So, because I have Mondays off anyways.
Yeah, so that would be helpful for you.
Yeah,
And you don't have to
absolutely.
come down.
and
for
I'm gonna
all
have
3
Fridays
nights.
off.
What?
So then I'm gonna have Fridays off.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I take some Saturdays off.
I have to this week because they're shutting the power off to my building this Saturday.
Oh, they
you
did
could
that.
come work in my building.
They did that to my building on
I could
Tuesday.
bring my laptop, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, how do I do that? Are you gonna work Saturday?
Not all day. I'll probably just work for like
You
4
can
or
even
5
sit on
hours
his
That's what I
lap.
was thinking.
in the morning. We could ride together.
We could.
It'd be cute. We could wear our Enginerdy Show t-shirts.
I wonder if the electronic lock in my office.
Will work.
I might have to Friday when I'm leaving bring my laptop by your office.
Okay.
Leave it.
Leave it.
You could do that. There will be a guy
It's gotta be
there
battery
on
powered,
swing
right?
shift.
You can't have the electronic locks at the building go out if the power goes
Right,
out.
because then they would cut the power and be able to get in.
Yes. So I'll just count on it.
Not be able to get out.
So in the event or something happened that is going to aid in our camp out, Mr. Pold may have seen it in your driveway.
Did you get your truck back?
Yeah, we got our
Oh,
truck
I
back.
did
Nice.
notice it, but it didn't even occur to me.
It's got a new engine in it that has about 100 miles on it now. So here's the thing.
Is there any break-in things you have to do?
Yes. So we have to do a 500-mile break-in
At 100 miles average.
and then get the
Speed.
oil changed before my wife leaves on a 2 or 3 week long trip in less than 2 weeks. So we've just been going out driving in the evenings, trying to put miles on.
Oh, so just miles is all you need?
Yeah, well, there's restrictions on how you can drive,
RPMs
and
and things. Right.
driving on the freeway for hours is not something you can do during the break-in period. They said basically they don't want you to drive the same speed, like on cruise control for.
So you
Very
kill
long.
2 birds with 1 stone. So you can take my oldest son out driving it.
Yeah, we could actually. I mentioned that to Melissa.
Is he got his
Mrs.
permit
Jimmy.
again?
He's got his permit again, and we need to get him his license so we can get out of my house because he's going to start paying rent if he doesn't.
Okay. Yeah, we'll maybe do some of that with him.
Because if you're not doing chores, you got to pay rent.
And he needs to learn how to drive a truck.
Yes.
Speaking of sons, I took 2 of my kids on a hiking trip on Saturday. We
Oh.
hiked about
Which
4.
king did you say hi to?
Huh?
Hi, King.
Oh.
Matt King Cole, Martin Luther King
Junior,
Jr.
not his dad.
Oh. Yeah, that guy's.
I don't know his dad.
Martin Luther? You don't know Martin Luther?
That was not Martin.
Martin Luther is not a king.
Jr.'s dad.
What? You're totally blowing my paradigm here.
Anyway,
They're probably not even related.
I ended up carrying a football the whole hiking trip.
And
King
never
England.
used it.
No, well, the thing is, my son brought the football,
Weird.
but he was wanting to play catch with me as we hiked, but he hit his sister in the head with the ball, and he kept almost hitting her with the ball.
She should have said hike.
I said, that's it.
Let's go for a
I'm
hike.
holding the ball.
Oh, that's funny. That reminds me of when we went disc golfing with DVD and I's sons, and his son kept almost hitting my kid with the disc.
Oh. Well, at one
I remember
point,
that.
I hid the ball in the back of my
Like
shirt
3 or
and
4 times
tucked my shirt in,
we had near misses.
and just continued hiking. And at one point, my son, who was mostly ahead of us, said, "Dad, where's my football?" I said, "Oh, I left it back on the trail. I figured we'd pick it up on the way back."
What?
And he's like, "But somebody will steal it." I'm like, "It's okay. I put it right on top of this bench. That way we won't miss it when we come back." And he's like, "But if it gets stolen, you have to buy me a new ball." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." He totally bought it that I had left it behind. And so then later on, I pulled the ball out and I was just messing around with it. And he's like, "Oh, hey, you have the ball." I'm like,
No, I just found this on the side of the trail.
I told him, "Well, I threw it ahead of us, and now we caught up
just
to
got it.
Yeah. But it was cool. There's I don't know how tall the hill is, but you can see for miles in all directions. And I don't know if this counts as nerd cred, but we were looking at the large metropolitan area near us from the top of this mountain, and we were guessing
Cape
how
Town?
far away we were from it.
Oh,
And I was the closest in my guess.
Nice.
I'm like, it's got to be
less than
30
50
miles.
Oh.
It's got to be less than 30 miles. And other people are like, no, it's
Yeah, the flat Earth lets you
Gotta
see
be-
farther than that.
It's got to be
the
thousands
next
of
closest.
miles
Somebody
away.
said 50 miles.
What?
My
No.
daughter thought 300 miles. I'm like, yeah, no.
I'd guess
That's
20
like
to
the other
25.
side of the state.
It was actually 22 miles.
No,
So,
I think I've been where you were.
yeah.
It's not that
I've
far
been
from
there
here.
with you.
I think I am where you are.
Did you?
I remember hiking there with you.
Oh.
At least, maybe not with, maybe just with Peyton. Maybe it wasn't with you. It was with Peyton, though.
So I know when we went hiking there, me and the guy that I was with, we were both kind of new to this area,
Uh-huh.
and we turned in the wrong direction. And we ended up way out in the peninsula somewhere.
Oh, wow.
We had to stop and ask some firemen if we were having a barbecue at their thing where we were.
Isn't that? Oh, I guess that's the best person to have a barbecue and
I think
They
there's
said,
police
"You're in the
officers there
wrong
too.
place, eh?"
Yeah, we were speaking Spanish. I wasn't
Oh.
sure.
we took a really wrong turn. If you sit on the same couch as a woman, is she a near miss?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, she's not married.
What?
I said near miss earlier, and I said,
Oh.
oh, that'd be a good name for
A band.
Near miss?
The
We almost
near
had a hit,
misses?
but it was a near miss.
We're the near misses. Not
I
misses
think that
like
the
your
band,
wife.
the President of the United States of America, has a song called "We're Not Gonna Make It" or something like that, and they're just singing about how they're gonna fail as a band.
Oh.
It's quite
I
hilarious.
saw a funny joke. There was a guy really stressed at work, and his boss told him, "You should do what I do. It's just like make love to your wife, or make love. I make love to my wife, but now I'm stressed, and it really calms me down." So he saw the guy the next day, and he's like, "Oh, you look a lot more calm. Did you follow my advice?" He's like, "Yeah, you've got really nice furniture."
Oh.
Anyway, I chuckled, but it was a guy from church that posted it on Facebook, and I was like, "Oh, he's gonna get some blowback from that one." It's a funny joke, though.
Yeah.
Switcheroo. You know, I told it wrong.
Oh, well. People got the
I
point.
saw the punchline from the beginning.
That's because I
Yeah.
screwed it up.
Yeah.
I didn't catch it. I was reading
I'm trying not to sneeze in the mic.
Mm,
it. Smart.
You know, it does help to hold your finger under your nose.
I was trying
I
to.
put both my fingers in as far as I can do.
That makes me sneeze more.
When someone's
There's
like,
foreign objects in there.
usually
You
at work,
can't
it's
sneeze
like, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm like, sneeze now. They're like, I can't.
out. You can't sneeze on demand.
That's funny.
Life hacks by the Enginerdy Show.
New segment.
Should we have a segment called Life Hacks?
Oh, I thought you said wife hacks. Oh, just kidding. Get your wife to do laundry by not putting it
Oh,
in
I
the
thought you said
hamster.
wife.
Get your wife to
I
fold the
thought you said
sheets
wife
because you're not.
hacks.
Act like you can't do it enough, and she'll stop asking
I thought you said wife hacks. Like my wife was born
Wife
in the same
hacks?
city as DVD.
My wife is from the fictitious state of Idaho.
Have you ever met anyone from Idaho?
Yeah, my wife and 2 of my kids.
That was a quote from the Flat Earth Society website.
Yeah. Anyone
Back when they
claiming to
were
be from
not
Idaho
serious.
is obviously a
A
charlatan.
Good. Have you ever met anyone from Idaho?
That's back when it was a joke. Now
Right.
there's people that actually believe it.
No, I think I'm not sure it was a joke back then. The people that
I think it probably was. It was pretty
No.
farcical.
Yes.
I fell for it.
Oh,
Thought
you
there was
believed?
Not there's people that dumb.
Oh.
Now there
Well,
are.
I can see that.
There are. They just didn't know how to make websites until now. They've made websites so
now they
easy.
make millions of dollars on playing basketball. There's several basketball players that came out and were saying that it's flat.
Yeah.
Well,
you
they
know,
don't necessarily believe it, but they got some good points.
No, they're flat.
no,
Oh.
they just, their main point is they don't understand science.
Science.
But there's a
You
lot
can say
of
that
people,
about a lot of people.
Yeah,
So,
there's a lot of people that don't understand science.
Yeah, like Amish.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
or over understand science.
Yeah, I don't understand silence.
Enjoy the silence.
Enjoy
The sounds of science.
Which is ironic, right? Because it's a song. singing that.
Enjoy the science. Facts are very unnecessary.
They can only do harm.
No, sir, I don't like it.
We should make a cover of that.
We should make a cover of a lot of songs.
We should. I came up with one earlier and I can't remember what it was.
The Enginerdy cover album.
It was great.
Spoof.
Yeah, parody album.
Parody album.
The Engineers parody the hits.
I've got a parody involved.
Well, they can't be
Science.
hits.
Science parodies.
I've got a parody
The
involved. I heard that later.
Enginerdy show parodies.
That's called
almost
foreshadowing.
hits.
Foreshadows and
You
Parodies
got a
the
parody
near
mystics.
What?
Nothing.
I told my son he had to take initiative earlier. He's like, I don't have any dice. So take initiative, not roll initiative.
I made a joke. Like,
you should say
similar
you
to that.
probably should just reach in your pocket and
Pull
hand
out
it
some
him
dice.
some.
Here, roll some for initiative. No, what if you rolled low?
Like, nah, I'm going back to bed. Maybe
Aw.
that's why he sleeps so much.
This wasn't that son.
Oh,
Can you imagine if you had a DM narrating your life?
DM Pesh mode.
oh, you should make a fake D20.
The only rolls
Little
20s.
ones. It'd be like the cards in back in that old TV show, Mission Impossible, where they could change what was on the card.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be cool.
Like, here, if you roll high enough, I'll let you not do the dishes. They roll. They're like, oh, I always roll low when we do this. Well,
Except that
them's the breaks.
they just have to get like a weighted dice.
No, you got to polish off the numbers and put new numbers on there.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, it does.
Roll for initiative.
All right, let's do roll. Do you have fake
I need you to roll for
Fake
dexterity on that one.
D20 dice?
Character building dice.
3 ways to load dice. Loaded dice.
How to check
Check
your.
the balance of your D20.
Oh, I saw that video. I watched that one about the water thing.
You can. There you go. You fill the numbers in with glue, and then you make new numbers. With a soldering iron, and then you just.
Wow.
That seems weird.
Seems like cheating.
It's
a little
your
bit.
kids. You're allowed to cheat. Oh, they're
Yeah.
using a drill or something on that
Oh,
one.
wow.
Okay. I think we could do it.
I had this game I played with my kids when they were still young called
Hide your food.
Super Bowl Clean. And I had this chart on the wall that was like the shape of it, looked like a football field, and it had a football. And there was a football-shaped container with little balls in it, and each ball had written on it one of the rooms in the house.
Nice.
And so you'd shake the football and then pour out one of the balls, and it was like, okay, living room. So we need to spend 30 minutes cleaning the living room. And if they all cleaned the whole time, then we'd move the football another 10 yards. And then the goal was once you got a touchdown, then you stop cleaning for the weekend.
Oh.
Well, if you have two, how about this? If you have two kids, turn it into a tug of war game where they have to outdo each other by do harder and harder chores.
I wonder if the sharpness of the corners affects it. Like, could you sand off some of the corners
Oh, probably.
and make it more likely to land on certain numbers?
Well, there's some D2 dice right there.
Also
I
known
want to
as
see
coins.
the D1 dice.
Ooh. It's
It's a sphere.
it's a two-headed coin.
It's just a ball. Oh, I roll the ball again.
I always roll a 1.
All right, I know what to do. I'll 3D print some fake dice
I know someone with a 3D printer now.
when I get my 3D printer.
FG
Are
got
you
one.
getting it?
You did?
Yep,
Oh, we did?
he did.
Oh, man, I need to get
Can we
one.
make requests?
Yeah,
I guess
so.
we'll be at his house on Saturday. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to look at that.
Yep. Yep.
And his foundry. He's making all the things I want.
There's a website
Oh,
where you
yeah.
can custom make your own carrot minifigs. Like you can customize what race, what they look like, their facial features, even what pose they're in. Well,
Mine's not.
you can actually buy a figure for $10. It's basically you just get the 3D file.
Huh.
That's a really cool website.
I think DVD should just make characters for us with its 3D printer.
Oh, is DVD getting one?
I mean, LFG.
Oh, LG.
Sorry.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
What is going on with
We've been
those?
talking about it.
Then we'd have to.
Those are ones you spin in your hand, I think, without rolling them.
It doesn't seem. That's weird.
That is very strange.
I was thinking about trying to build enough dice towers for everybody, so we don't have dice. I have one built, like prototype, that we can pass around, I guess. But or the people that tend to roll, maybe everyone, the first person you time to roll dice off the table, you get it.
Or should we all make our own?
So this one show I was watching, DM, he has some really nice, they're called Paladin dice. They're metal.
Mm.
They're really heavy. And if you rolled a natural 20, then you got the dice.
Oh.
But if you rolled a natural 1, they had that Bean Boozle game.
Oh.
And you had to spin the wheel and do the, I don't know if you heard of that.
They-
Strip hold.
They're
It's
jelly
basically-
beans, but some of them taste like
The
jelly
good
beans,
things and
there's
some
two-
taste bad.
No.
but-
Two of them look the
No.
same. And one's out of like raspberries, and the other one's like barf or whatever.
No.
Fresh lawn clippings, dog
That's
food.
not cool.
It was funny. Well, if you rolled natural 1, it was your punishment.
Yeah, I don't want to play then. I'm one of those super tasters.
For a while, all the kids playing, because it was the D&D with high school kids, were all rolling like good ones. And then the teacher had to roll, and he got dog food.
Oh.
You know what?
And then he's like, "You realize what's happening, though? You guys are using up all the good ones, so eventually there's only going to be bad ones."
Yeah.
If I ate those, all of them would then taste like bark.
They passed a garbage can around. You just had to bite into it to tell what flavor it was, and then spit it out. They'd have to eat
Well,
it.
again, the garbage can's there for me to puke in.
Yeah, one of the girls was like, "I'm totally gonna puke if I get."
You can get a 3D file to print loaded dice.
That's funny. Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Call out a book to make us a holder for stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
do that.
Alright, I don't think this is a very good pod right now.
Sorry.
Moving
Yes.
on.
Nobody can see what we're looking at.
Yeah. Sorry. I got trapped on it.
It's true. We don't have
Images
something that we
page.
could show what we're looking at.
That's too
On
high tech for
YouTube.
us.
Yeah, we would need a better video capture thing.
Yep.
Well, some people can do that.
Well,
Not us.
we
Not yet.
if at some point we want to get fancy and pay for a better
We could probably do it.
thing, we can do it.
Alright, shall we do nerdiculture?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So I came across an article today.
What?
It was
You know how to
An
read?
article. An is an
That's
article.
funny.
That's true. There's a there's a company, I guess, or a product called Exovest.
Okay.
And it's something that Ford and Exobionics are teaming up on. And it's like an, what do they call those? Exoskeleton type thing.
Oh, like the '90s superhero show about the guy in the wheelchair that had an exoskeleton that gave him superhero strength.
Yeah, but this is something that's like
The
worn as a
Mantis, I think is what
harness.
it's called.
And so what it does is it helps you
Oh, right.
work on
So-
things above your head without getting the fatigue that's usually associated with that.
Oh, right. They also have ones for helping people that have to lift and carry stuff.
Yeah. So one of the things with a lot of these Ford assembly plants is they have workers that are doing repetitive motions above their head.
Yeah.
And I mean, anytime you work underneath your car,
Or like, let's say
Yeah.
Moses needed his arms to stay up.
yeah, you can understand how your arms just get so tired from
Right.
doing stuff. in
You
the
have to
cars.
like stop and just lay
Yeah.
them on the
I
ground.
think there's an exercise called isometrics. It's basically just holding weights out, holding them up.
Anyway, they found that like the shoulder is one of the weakest parts, and that would causes the most ergonomic caused
Strain.
injuries and stuff.
Huh.
And so this Exovest is not powered or anything. It has springs that
Oh,
help.
Okay. Kind of like a garage door with springs.
this is going to
Give it
lead
an assist.
to robots murdering people.
It's also one size fits all, as long as you're between 5'0" and 6'4". But they only are having them use it if they're using tools that are less than 8 pounds or something without tools. Because one of the things, since it's not a powered thing, it's basically redistributing the weight to your back.
Oh, yeah.
And so if you lift too
Yeah.
heavy of stuff with it, it will affect, give you back strain and stuff like that.
Ah.
So a guy on the internet that built his own exoskeleton to pick heavy stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty cool. But it was like, you have to push a button, I think, to operate it.
Yeah, I saw something where they were coming up with some kind of exoskeleton for disabled people that you powered through Alexa.
Oh, that's cool.
Weird.
I've heard the military is actually looking at it too for soldiers so they can carry bigger rucks. Hike longer.
Another cool thing is the vests are 3D printed,
Oh, that's
Whoa.
cool.
which makes it so they can make them as light as possible.
Yeah.
And that they found when they started having workers use these things that there was a 90% decrease in ergonomic issues.
That's cool.
And
It's because it has a built-in feature. If you complain, it shocks you.
I want one for hiking.
but one of the reasons that employers would want to use this for employees that are constantly doing stuff like this is they want to be able to, when they retire,
Still have.
mobility
Yeah.
Right.
and things like that.
I can think of all kinds of great uses for exoskeletons.
So right now they're testing it into U.S. plants, and they're planning to test it in Europe and South America as well.
Oh.
So
Was it ever coming here to Africa?
On the English ones, they have to be reversed, so it's on the opposite side.
So I always thought it'd be cool to take like an experienced
Left-hand
hiker
cars.
that can
Yeah.
hike really long ways and put motion capture devices on him so that people that want to hike but don't have the skill just climb into an exoskeleton, push the button, and it takes them on the
The
hike.
skill.
well, they're also developing exoskeleton type things for skiing. I guess that there's certain maneuvers in skiing that really works your quads, and this thing would take the
Think about an amusement park with exoskeleton amusement park where you can have rides like replay your favorite football thing as the player that
that'd
your
be
favorite.
cool.
So you can pretend like Randy Moss and you can streak down the field and leap in the air and
Do
like it's art and taps their arms, catch the ball.
and fake moon the audience.
Yeah, that'd be and obviously.
Right.
Or a sweet running back, it's breaking tackles like what's his name?
Sanders?
Yeah, not Deion.
Barry?
Barry Sanders. Juking people out, it's doing spin moves, but it's doing it for you, but you get to experience what it felt like.
Yeah, that'd be cool. No?
No, it would be
You're
cool.
not on board with this?
No,
Oh.
that sounds totally stupid.
What? Be a gladiator?
You mean a lion?
Oh, I had to be the Christian last time.
Imagine Terminator, but instead of robots, there's exoskeletons that all of a sudden take over the people. So you're killing people with your exoskeleton. Like, I'm not controlling it, and you're smashing people.
So there's a book that I read.
Scott Sigler.
No, it
You read
wasn't.
books?
But it was about these mech bots that you're in. But if you died in
You're
it,
in MechBots, huh?
the way it interfaced with your brain, if you died in it, it basically became a zombie mech.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that reminds me of a Doctor Who episode.
I thought you were going to say Dr. Seuss.
That reminds me of a Dr. Seuss book.
Remember in Green
Do
Eggs
it
and
dark.
Ham where they were in the train and they died? Oh, yeah. There was a Doctor Who like that.
I was thinking the Scott Sigler one where there's like nanites that basically turn you into a zombie, but your brain still understands what's happening. Like, you see yourself eating your family.
Yeah,
that'd
But
be
you're,
horrible.
yeah, that's why it's a horror.
Especially if they tasted good.
I know. I think I'm bad that would
It's
taste.
like, oh.
Yeah, the nanites can affect your taste buds.
You're sick.
Yes, the same. Well, Scott Sigler's sick. That's why it's
Yeah.
horrific. Think about that. It's just
My daughter just finished one of his trilogies.
probably not one like that though.
No, it was
You've had your daughter being infected?
the
What is wrong with
the
you?
Generations trilogy.
Infected
So
with
would-
spores that come from space.
When you guys want to use one of these exo vest things to use your mouse at
I
work
was-
or your
I was
keyboard?
thinking about that. They have one that helps with typing.
Well, that's the opposite of what I wanted. Was like a 20-pound weighted mouse, so you'd get a workout while you're moving your mouse and like really hard keys.
Why is your right arm really muscular?
And your left hand
arm-
is just like this
And-
rock of muscle because you're using to push the 30-pound
Oh,
test keys.
yeah. Why is he always
And it runs
pounding
on-
on his keyboard?
And it runs on a bike, so you have to. So the monitor stays on. I shouldn't say this out loud. People are gonna start.
Dude, I have a hard enough time, standing up to work. So recently, we've been doing upgrades on our computer systems at work, and they had to take my computer for a week.
So you stood at a stand-up desk.
So the guy's desk I had been using was coming back from wherever he was at. And so a friend of mine
The
said,
bathroom.
oh, well, no, he was on travel. So, and the friend of
Yeah, where'd
mine's
my
like,
computer
oh,
go?
well, I'm not going to come until noon tomorrow, so you could work at my desk. Well, I get there, and it's one of those desks that can be standing or sitting. I had no idea how to adjust it down to sitting.
Now, was it one of the plastic ones that goes on top of the desk, or was it the whole desk?
No, it was on top of the desk.
Yeah, those ones suck.
And so I made my chair go up as high as I could, and just had my hands way above me moving the mouse until somebody came in, because I came in really early that day too.
Because when they
Until someone
first,
came in and told me how to adjust it.
when they first started bringing those in, it was actually the whole desk surface would motor up and down,
Oh.
like the legs would expand.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time I wanted one, when we moved to offices, and all of a sudden it made sense for me to have one, they were now getting the VersaDesk one that just goes on top of your desk, takes up all your desk space,
Right.
and I'm the guy that has papers all over the place when
Yeah.
I'm working. So it wouldn't work for me.
I had one that just clamped on the front of your desk, and then it had a platform for your keyboard, and then your monitor, you had to take the stand off and bolt it on.
Oh.
But then when I got another monitor, I was like, well, can't use that anymore.
They got me a monitor stand that clamps to the back of the desk and has the arms that come out to hook to both your monitors, so there's like
Oh.
nothing underneath them.
That'd be nice.
It's
Mine are
nice.
sitting on the boxes they came in.
But usually I end up typing with like an open book in front of me, like a three-ring binder with a bunch of papers and stuff stacked on top of it, so I'm trying to type over the top of that.
Sounds ergonomic.
I know, 'cause I don't have enough desk space, and
No.
my vision's not good enough to put it over on the side very far.
Oh.
Plus, they need to turn back, and that's not very good.
Yeah.
I need a cavity inside my desk with a glass thing so I can put the book in it.
Ah,
Still have the desk space.
that'd be cool.
Or just have someone stand there and read to you.
Oh, I've got a co-op. No, she's excited.
Summer intern.
She came in on Monday this past week, and they've been having computer problems with upgrades.
Yeah,
So she came in on Monday, and there's a note saying they took her computer. It was gone.
yeah.
It was just gone. But she got it back today, so she's happy.
My computer's been working great since the upgrade.
I love Windows 10.
Once I got my computer back, it was worked fine.
People think I'm strange, but although my AutoCAD does some weird things, like occasionally it'll just pause, and you have to wait for it to start going again.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was during autosaves, but I changed my autosave 7 to 20 minutes, and then it happened.
What I like is one of the issues I was having before is not an issue anymore. Before when
Blood coming out of this monitor.
Yeah. Before, every once in a while when I'm using Excel, it would like crash the what do they call it, the
video. Yeah.
thing.
Oh, I used to have that happen.
Oh,
then,
I haven't had that happen since I got Windows 10.
When that happened, it would cause my AutoCAD to crash.
Oh.
Yeah. I think
See,
I had that
when
problem.
mine
like,
crashed,
oh.
it would like go to this black screen with little white rectangles in rows, and then it would come back on long enough for me to save what I was doing, and then the whole computer would crash.
What I like about the new Windows 10 upgrade is the Excel. You can open different instances.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's very
I noticed
nice.
that
It's so
today too.
sweet.
Yeah.
I
I
know
hate
she
it,
was
yeah.
complaining because the when you show the paper border, you know, with the gray background, his was too close to the same on his monitor, so you couldn't tell where it was. So I
No
figured out
contrast.
how to show him what to change your background color.
Well, and I use Windows 10 at home.
Yeah, I
and
do too.
everything. So
Works great when it works.
yeah.
In fact, I ran an upgrade finally on my desktop computer that wasn't saving my screen basically.
Mhm.
So every time I'd reload it, it would go back to the default settings and everything.
Oh man.
It would take forever. In fact, I got so when as soon as the screen turned black, I would do Control Alt-Delete, which would bring up that, and I could run tasks from there before the desktop would load finally. But I did this upgrade to the Windows 10, and there was Windows 10 before, and I just did the next update, and it fixed it, which is great.
Cool.
Nice.
And that's nerdy culture.
Good one. I like it.
Do they have a vest for podcasting?
It makes your
don't know.
mouth move. It pushes air out your, you got swallows and it
It
pushes air out.
compresses your chest.
I don't think I want to hear that.
Oh, you just did.
That's what it sounds like.
All right, for Technergy, we're going to talk about Keeker.
Who?
It's a robot
It's a robot.
for your home.
That doesn't look
So
like
it's a
R2D2.
home robot with a built-in.
A robot.
Yeah, the thing says it's R2D2 like, but
No,
It doesn't look like our. It
it's-
looks like our.
It doesn't show you what you want to
It's
see.
a
It just shows what it wants to show you.
Yeah, no, it's a cylinder with a curvy top, and
It's just not very big.
it doesn't have
cylinder.
any legs though.
Oh.
So it's
like an
basically supposed to be like
Oh, it's
a
big.
Oh, and it watches TV for you.
no. It
That
actually,
makes me
one of its main features is it is a projector.
Oh,
It's built
okay.
off a robot, so it's constantly moving.
Because this picture makes it look like it's sitting there watching TV.
It does.
They didn't add a chair, so no matter where it goes, it projects you with it.
Oh, like it could just pull you around. So it does have wheels, so you can tell it like go to the bedroom and play Netflix, and it'll go in there and
Why does it need to go in the bedroom?
for Netflix time.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Or you could tell it, let's watch Netflix in the living room, and it would go.
My wife's
You're Netflixing and chilling with this robot?
I guess
my wife's in the shower. Go project the scene from Psycho on the wall.
you could do that. So you can set up.
the shower curtain.
You can set up pre-set locations so it knows there's a good wall there, or it can even project on the ceiling. So if you want to watch TV in bed,
I record myself doing chores.
That would be a good prank if you had a shower curtain that you could like.
Oh, an
it's
LED,
a
shower curtain.
curtain, so you can make
That's
it.
awesome. That's like my idea of
make
an
it look like
LED
there's
football
shadows
field.
out there. Oh.
what?
So you could change,
I missed
all the blades of grass would be LEDs. So
Oh.
you could change what's on the field. You could change the logo.
Oh,
You could
yeah.
change the lines from a football field to a football pitch. See what I did there?
have it in your front yard. So
You can make it look like a hole's opening.
Yeah,
up so
that's
they
what I
trip.
thought it was. An LED like front lawn, so you can have it show whatever you want. Get off my lawn. See the steps on it.
Anyway.
So this thing can drive around. It also has speakers in
Can you
it.
bring in the car so you can watch the movie?
Yeah, I guess. And also you can play like your Pandora through it or Spotify, and it can like
They'll follow you around.
follow you around.
Well,
Play
do-
music.
We'll do chores.
So it also has a
Should build some
a
arts.
camera in it, so you can, if you're not at home, you can look and see what it's seeing. But it doesn't have like security features like motion detector or anything
So I can
yet.
spy on my family with it while I'm at
You
work.
could.
What are they doing now? I'm off at work
So,
making money and they're home for
There's a
summer
lot
break.
of features it doesn't have yet that would be cool if they added in the
Fire
future.
extinguisher,
Oh, that'd be cool.
little arm to unlock things.
Or shock people.
Yeah. Rocket boosters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can hover.
So
Whoa! What is that?
don't. What else does it have? So basically, those are the features they have.
What's it called again?
It's called Keeker.
Oh,
The problems it has is it doesn't work very well with rugs.
It's like
So they're like, it worked really
Like,
well on the hardwood.
does it work real well? Is it going to destroy the rug, or
It can't get.
It has
Up onto
accidents.
if
on
I
the
can't
rug.
get it outside? Is it going to have an accident on the rug?
But the wheel,
I
it
oiled
doesn't
the
have that much
carpet again.
clearance. And
You're in trouble now.
the other thing was, you have to adjust the projected image so that it looks normal. You have to set it up.
It doesn't do that automatically.
It doesn't automatically do that.
Based on the height that you want it to display. Why is it projecting something right next to the TV?
I don't know. Also, it doesn't have very good contrast ratio.
No, it does
so if it's not in a dark room,
That'd be creepy. You must be in a dark room with a robot
basically they said this was
with a camera.
their kids really loved this because they could play with it, control it, make it go where they wanted, and they could watch cartoons in novel places.
On the toilet.
Yeah, you could do that.
Which then after a week they get bored with it.
Yeah.
Is it going to be like that robot that was trying to travel across the country and its life ended in Chicago, I think? In the back alley.
Yeah.
It's a good idea, but I think
It needs work. I mean, it's good for a first.
Whoa, not for that
version.
much.
It's no Rocky
Yeah,
Horror
it
robot.
costs 1,700 British pounds.
Oh, that's the price. I thought it was the weight. I was like, that's going to cause structural
No,
damage.
it weighs like 9 kilograms or something. So
I better brace for the number
Kilograms.
here.
That's an unfortunate name for a robot.
It's a kilogram robot. Here's your message. Die, die, die.
no, it's a kilogram.
At the humans.
So yeah,
Well, like
the other
9
drawback is it doesn't do stairs. I guess it could go down,
Rolls them down.
but it can't go up. And when it got to the bottom, it might not be
Isn't working anymore?
working or upright.
It starts cussing.
Especially there's carpet.
So
That's how you punish it. You put it in a room with carpet in it.
Try to get out of here.
That'll teach you.
so it looks like a good start. In the future, I could see this
Year 2000?
The year 2000.
being a
That's
lot
the
better,
future.
but yeah. It'd be fun during a party if it could like project lights out like a dance party and play music and,
Oh, yeah.
and
Spin
kind
around.
of move around the room.
Or have drinks on its head.
Yeah, you could do that. You could make a little.
Or you store your
map for it.
lightsaber in there and
Yeah.
you can shoot it out to you.
That'd
when
be
you need
cool.
Yeah, and then you could like kill some guards. Oh.
I'm not sure why you have guards at your house, but okay.
Well, they're trying to push you into the Sarlacc
And that's the news.
because your LED lawn would look
Nice
like
try.
the Sarlacc.
it. Oh, that'd be cool.
I want a Sarlacc toilet insert.
That's
They lift the lid.
That'd be great.
with or without the beak.
Without, obviously.
Okay.
It would work with a beak.
Now with the new Big Day feature.
It cleans your bum
It
for you.
licks.
Oh,
That's who I enjoyed your bum.
Oh.
uh,
Sorry for our British listeners.
and That's technology.
In America, the bum is your posterior.
Okay.
And that's the news also. Good job.
All right. Does anybody have consumption?
There's
I
lots
got
of consumption.
I know. I wrote 2 one-word titles on mine. I'm like, oh,
That's sad.
So I watched The Wizard of Oz.
The original?
The original.
Or the one where we placed the whole cast with
women.
No,
in New York.
The
The
gender
original.
swap one.
the one with Judy Garland and
Oh,
Toto.
Joey Garland.
Joey Garland as.
The dog's actually a band member
What's
from
the
Toto.
male version of Dorothy? Donald.
Dorothy?
Donna.
Donald?
Does the dog have to
Dorald.
be a girl?
I thought that Toto was a boy.
Dormand.
Right, but you're doing a gender swap.
The Wicked Witch would be.
It wasn't a
Wicked
gen. It
Warlock.
was the original
The Wicked Wizard.
Wizard of
Wicked
Oz
Wizard of Oz.
with the lollipop.
We represent
the
the Lollipop Guild.
Yeah.
National Lollipop Guild. The last member died recently.
Oh, the last one.
Choked on a lollipop.
He tried to find how many licks it took to get to the center.
It was actually pretty good. It'd been a while since I'd
It's a
seen
good movie.
Yeah.
The Flying
Even
Monkey
though-
scary still.
I realized
No.
it's a musical.
You don't like musicals?
Not usually.
Or living trees that can throw
Oh,
fruit
yeah.
at you.
Oh, that's scary.
That was a good way to get fruit.
So
Yeah.
we read the book for a college history class I took.
Oh, the Frank L.
Totally
Baum.
different.
Yeah. He
I've
the
read several of the books.
instructor
I've read a couple.
related each character to like
The Star Trek character.
some current event
Oh.
that was going on, or person from when it was written.
Really? Hmm.
It was interesting.
When was it written?
I
1900s?
think it was right after World War One, maybe.
Oh, I think it was before. That could be.
I don't know. We can look it up.
Frank L. Baum. He's got like dozens of books that he wrote.
The Lizard.
Boz.
Oz.
Showtimes for The Wizard of Oz.
The lizard called Bosk.
Ooh, it's showing on
The
Wednesday. at
movie was from
1:45.
1939.
Book.
Wow, that's old.
Published
1900.
in 1900.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was pre World War One.
Yep.
So a lot of the things seemed like they were relating to stuff going on around World War One.
Wait, did they have tornadoes back then?
Yes, they
they'd
did.
just been invented.
And
Oh, okay.
Kansas was a thing.
What?
Anyway,
Not Kansas. Oh.
the next thing I watched, I watched Click,
I've seen part of
the
that.
Adam Sandler movie. I realized I had never seen it before.
Is he a
I've seen
cobbler?
it. No.
No,
That one's called The Cobbler.
Oh,
this is one
I
where
haven't seen any of this one.
he gets a hold of this remote control that he can use on his life,
Oh,
and
his
of
wife?
course, yeah, that too.
You can
Of course,
pause,
Mute.
rewind, fast forward.
of course,
his life.
everything
His
goes
wife?
wrong. Yes,
Yes.
her too,
Cool.
It
and
works
everything else
on
in his life.
and
Record.
life. Yes.
Anyway, it turns out to be more of a curse.
They usually
And
are.
Just as he used it
It's-
stupidly.
It's got some juvenile humor in it, but overall, I thought it was pretty good.
So he uses to control his kids then?
I don't think he ever used it on his kids.
Oh.
Well, he would like fast forward through conversations.
Oh, that's a good.
Through
idea.
Like, yeah,
arguments
Dad,
and
you
stuff
said that
like
was fine. When?
And then he rewinds. Oh, I did say that.
Oops.
Um,
Because it would like basically, when he was fast forwarding, his body was still interacting with people.
it was on
Oh.
autopilot.
It was on. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Weird.
When we reversed
Anyway.
it, didn't go back in time? Was it time travel?
No, I think
No,
it just
he
let him
didn't.
see the past.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's no good.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good.
Well, there you go.
I watched a movie called The Quick and the Dead.
That's a good one.
I didn't realize how old it was when I watched it
Is
because
it
I'm
New
like,
York?
because
Real quick.
it had
now.
Leonardo DiCaprio in it,
Really young.
and I was thinking, wow, that looks like a young Leonardo DiCaprio, and I didn't realize that how old the movie was. But
It's
yeah.
pretty old. 90s,
it's
right?
got Sharon Stone
Yeah.
and
Bob Vila.
Russell
We're
Crowe.
oddly enough. No,
No, I don't remember Bob Vila in it.
he's an extra.
I'm
He built the
trying to remember who else was in the
City.
movie.
that one guy.
Oh.
Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman, yes. was in
Wow,
it.
I remembered somebody's name. I think it was in an old movie.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's a gunfighting western.
I'm trying to remember
Yeah.
what I watched it on. Because now I've got Hulu.
TV?
Was it on your
Or was it
Keeker?
that Keeker?
I didn't watch it on the Keeker.
Is
Well,
it
you
because
get
it
quick
does
in the
work and
head.
kick it really hard?
Well, we
don't know.
recently started using Hulu.
Hmm.
I think it might have been on there. I'm not sure.
The pay version one?
Uh-huh.
No.
Weird.
I also watched Transformers The Last Night.
I'm sorry. I've not seen it.
I
I'm
did
assuming
not
it's bad.
realize it was 2.5 hours long.
Oh,
All Transformer movies are.
I didn't realize. I haven't really paid
that's on
I don't like
Amazon
Solo,
Prime
you feel
right
all
now,
of it.
right?
I don't remember where I watched it.
I'm gonna have to watch just.
I think it's on Amazon Prime because we watched the trailer the other
At
day.
first, I thought it was, well, this might be an okay movie. But near the end, it just got just way over the top and just...
What? A
Transformer.
Transformers movie?
It transformed from a decent movie into a bad.
This is why I'm scared of
Very
anyone
quickly.
talking about making Thundercats.
So,
It's gonna go bad.
one of the
quick.
things about the movie is the writing is pretty awful.
Yeah.
And I think, okay, this is my theory on
I think you're accurate.
why this movie turned out this way. So the previous movie made it really big in China. Like, it became the #1 movie in China. Like,
So
in
they
China's
wrote the
history.
script in Chinese and then translated it
Exactly.
into English.
That's what I'm thinking.
I know they're definitely writing movies with
I know they
international audience.
they
in mind.
included a ton of Chinese product placement in the movie,
Oh.
and
It made you really crave shrimp biscuits.
but yeah, I'm thinking, I wonder if they wrote the script in Chinese and then translated it into English,
No, they transformed it in English.
so that when they dubbed it into Chinese, it would make sense. I've kind of done something similar to that. When I went to Japan, I wanted to leave a review for this restaurant, and so I went and wrote a review, and then I put it through Google Translate, and then I reversed it through Google Translate to see if it made sense in English.
I don't remember talking this much about donkeys.
Donkey, 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 donkey. But then I fiddled with the review so that when I put it into the Chinese
It'd come out
translate
and make
or
sense.
Japanese translate, it would come back and make sense.
Oh,
So I wonder if they did something similar to that.
that would be funny.
I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of it kind of made me okay, I haven't really watched much of any anime,
Oh,
but it made me think this is what a live action anime movie might be like.
No.
so if you wonder what that is, go watch Dragon Ball Z, the movie.
Okay. I don't know if I will. Just telling you that right up front.
Go watch the live action version of
Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan.
I still have that, by the way.
Anyway,
I
Because
haven't,
there is actual anime of that, so you can see both.
I haven't watched the second half yet.
Oh,
I think I laughed once in the
At it?
movie.
That was
No, there
stupid.
was something clever. I can't remember what it was now.
What the floop?
But there was a lot of stuff that it was trying to be clever. Oh, I know what it was.
did they,
I keep
did they
thinking
let
that.
George Lucas in there for the comedy punch up? Let's get George to punch it up.
There was a Transformer character that spoke with a French accent.
Wee.
Why
And-
would that?
Was it a
One
smart
of-
car?
One of the other Transformers.
Is that Mercedes?
What?
Don't they make smart cars?
I don't know.
One of the other Transformers said that he spoke like that because he'd like to, and then he retorted back that he was stuck speaking like that or something.
Oh.
And I'm just like, huh. And that was it. They had a lot of dumb humor that didn't go over at all.
Oh, like all the rest of the Transformer movies?
Yeah. Well, apparently,
Was there scenes where it's like action so fast you can't tell what's happening with slow motion that doesn't do anything? Like it just comes
Yes,
in
it's
back
like-
and fast you can't see.
they put the slow motion in the parts that don't need slow motion, and non-slow motion in parts that you have no clue what's happening.
That's
Fast
why it's
motion.
artistic.
Autistic?
Yes.
Oh, okay. What was I gonna say?
Bob Vila.
Bob
Vila.
Donkey, 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 donkey.
Yeah, so don't see it.
Okay.
It's not good.
Well,
Should I
Mrs.
watch it
Jimmy.
anyway?
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. So it had the third highest grossing opening weekend in China. But then no one saw it after that. In fact, I read articles where they talked about a lot of them walking out of the movie
Wow.
and not laughing at any of the jokes, kind of laughing at some of the product
Here or
placement
China?
in China.
Oh.
And it did make twice as much money in China as it did in the U.S.
So-
Was it even in theaters here?
I don't know.
So the Chinese
Because I'd never
don't
heard
take
of
to
it
pandering as well as...
until we saw it on Amazon.
That's weird because they have pandas. I think they have pandering.
Yeah, apparently Chinese do not like to be pandered to. Or pandered to.
Well, the reason they buy American movies is they like American movies.
Yeah.
If you try to change it into what you think they like, then you're probably just going to insult them.
Yeah, anyway.
Looking at you, Mr. Bay.
I watched an episode of The Incredible Hulk.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the TV show.
The
Or the
TV
movie.
show. No,
Or
the
the
the TV show with.
What was the first episode?
I didn't watch the first episode because I seen that recently.
Oh, okay.
David Banner.
Yes.
And it's got Lou Ferrigno and Bill
Oh,
Bixby
yeah.
in it.
Very good. I used to love that show as a kid.
So I watched an
Yeah, it was the
episode
Hulk
where
for
he goes
Halloween
to
when I
a
was a kid.
zoo, and there's a guy in a gorilla costume. That
Of course.
the special effects are awful.
Did you get out?
You're supposed to think it's a gorilla,
Yes, it's a.
but it's obviously a guy in a suit.
It makes
Nice.
it better if you think of it as like an animatronic robot gone rogue that's part of the Skynet.
And speaking of old '80s shows, I watched a couple episodes of The Greatest American Hero.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Flying away on a wing and a prayer.
Is this
Who
the musical
can it
episode?
be? Believe it or not, it's just me.
That's one of the greatest shows ever.
When so
Hence the name.
I watched it on Hulu. I was sick one of the days this week, and when my wife, we turned it on, and it was the first thing that popped up on Hulu, and my wife's like, "Oh, The Greatest American Hero!" And we both, just like DVD and I did, we both started singing it at the
Nice.
same time.
Such a
It was
great
awesome.
show.
I only do
So-
that with the Mary Tyler
So the
Moore
premise of the
song.
show is there's this guy that finds an alien suit that
Well,
gives him powers, but he doesn't have the directions to how to use it, as far as I remember.
That's kind of how this podcast started.
So, if this is a show, I think they should reboot,
Oh, they could totally do
and
it.
this is why. The special effects are horrible
Uh,
in the movie or the
Let's
TV
do it.
show,
yeah, we can do it.
but the premise is gold.
It's really good.
And he's got this FBI guy that he works with that is
Oh,
just
yeah.
really pushy and overbearing and just
So
awesome.
you would be that guy.
But it kind of reminds me a little bit of Chuck. TV show
I don't know if I
Chuck.
ever watched that.
So that one, this guy that works at like a Best Buy gets
Oh, okay.
like all the information from the NSA crammed into his brain, including like fighting techniques and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So he gets two handlers. One of them is the guy that plays in Serenity. What's his name?
Nathan
Jane.
Fillion. Oh, Adam.
Oh.
Yeah, Adam Baldwin. He is hilarious in it.
I bet.
And he's very pushy, and because they're using him as a secret agent, because he has all the information in his brain.
Secret agent man.
Right. And I tried
Yeah.
to watch it.
And for some reason, the main character, Ralph, is the only one that can use the suit.
Right.
So, and he's got a girlfriend, and the FBI guy is always trying to get her involved too, and get her to like be the, person that sets up their safe houses and all this other stuff. And she's just like, she's a lawyer. She's like, oh, time for that. Anyway,
I need to go watch it again.
I need to watch some more of it with my wife because it's a very nostalgic show.
Believe it or not, I don't think I've ever seen it.
What?
Well, you are younger than us.
What?
They didn't really have it in
Too young.
reruns
I think
after it
it's
was on
funny.
there.
When people we know, like from church, ask me, I've been asked multiple times, so are you older or younger than them? I'm like, younger?
Much younger.
Obviously.
Hey,
Maybe. Well, if you shaved, you'd look a lot younger.
maybe that's why it's facial
Maybe.
feature here.
All right. What else? What else did I watch? Oh, I finished Supernatural season 6.
Naturally.
I
I mean,
think-
supernaturally.
So it's pretty good.
Let me know when. I need to figure out what season I'm on, so when you get there, then we can progress together, and then we can talk about it.
I don't
So I
know
never
if
had
I
anyone
want
to talk
progress
to
together
about
with
this.
you. Well, it's not like I have a set time I sit down and watch it. It's basically any time that I'm home alone or something, because my wife's already seen the whole series.
Kevin.
So,
It'd be as simple as if you turned it on to watch it. Just send me an episode number.
Just
oh,
tweet him.
Yeah, tweet it out. Whichever
or if
episode
I'm
you started.
sick, home from work sick, then I'll watch
Then
it.
he'll just stay home.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just plan to just be sick on Mondays.
Yeah, there you go. Watch it together then.
And then I watched a movie called The Darkest Hour.
Is that the World War II one?
Nope.
It's just one
Different
about.
one. It's about aliens that
It's about aliens.
absorb electricity or something.
Yes.
Oh,
Something
yeah,
like that.
I've seen that one.
So it's about these people, these guys that are in Russia,
Oh, Russians.
and
They're
they
there
have
on holiday or something.
no,
aren't
they're
they?
there for some kind of business trip.
They're not
Um,
Russian, is what I
no.
meant.
They're not Russian.
Oh, I've seen this one.
Oh,
Yes, I
And
know you're talking
several
about.
the
times they are
aliens
rushing around.
attack.
Yes. They end up on a
And-
submarine at one point.
Yeah. Well, they end up with
Spoiler, I guess.
I think the woman's American and an Australian woman, played by the gal that plays Trish in Jessica Jones,
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
and a guy of indeterminate nationality. At first, I thought he was Russian, but they were talking about him going to his
Could be Ukrainian.
embassy too, and I was thinking maybe it was a Danish
from
accent.
Cambodia?
But I don't know.
You kept
Or a
talking about
Dutch
pastries.
accent. I don't know.
Was it wild?
I keep bumping the table. Yeah, there's a submarine in that movie. There's also a submarine in Transformers: The Last Night
And the Quick
that
Dead.
also spun its propellers while it was out of the water.
Oh, that's really bad for your bearings.
But it doesn't have bearings. It's electromagnetic.
The whole time I was like, okay,
You
so
know what? In
it
seawater,
turns out
okay.
it's a transformer, so it's not gonna. I had to do
Fun
a lot
operation.
of talking myself into suspend disbelief because of this. Okay, and then I just broke at one point. I can't suspend disbelief anymore.
Maybe it's not for your age. of
Robots aren't
viewers.
real.
Well, it's just so much stuff is happening, and it's just like oh my
Unlike other
goodness.
movies he watches where nothing happens.
No, I'm seriously.
7 years
There
into
is
bed.
so much happening
Dude.
at the end of this movie that it's just like I can't even.
Would it be an artistic film to have a really cool setup of characters and then have like the main character die and it's just a film 2 hours of watching his dead body sitting there?
Oh, and the love interest for Marky Mark in the movie, I could not stand her.
Yeah, she was
Marky
like
Mark's in
10.
it.
Yeah, Marky Mark's in it. Yeah, it had big names. It had John Goodman.
Oh, really?
It had Marky Mark. It had
That's mean.
he's not that big anymore.
Saying John Goodman is big.
And Anthony Hopkins
Oh,
was in it.
oh, Tony's in it.
And that guy Optimus Prime.
Yeah, the guy that does Optimus Prime's voice.
Oh, they didn't have the real
Wow.
Optimus Prime just play himself?
No, have you seen it? He's not the real Optimus Prime. He's
It's a
way too
false
complicated.
one.
He becomes a fake.
The robots are way too complicated in it.
Yeah.
I wanted a more closely resembling.
At one
Our
point, I
childhood ones.
turned to my wife. I'm like, what side is that one on? Because this is like all this stuff's happening. I'm just like, I'm lost. I have no clue what's happening. Who are we rooting for?
So I watch it and see if I can enjoy
The
it.
humans?
You might be able to enjoy it, but
Or
I
stretch my.
really tried. I gave it an honest effort to enjoy it,
Humans
and I just at the end I'm just like, no.
What bothers me is
The
that
humans
it looked like from the
are
previews that they're making Optimus Prime evil. I'm like,
Oh, you haven't
I
seen
don't
it?
buy it.
Yeah, he becomes evil, and you don't really understand how, and then he snaps out of it with something that was kind
He
of
gets hit
cool,
in the head.
but
He got hit with a coconut.
it involved,
He gets hit in the coconut again.
Bumblebee.
Oh, okay.
He got stung.
Tuna?
Bumblebee
They're
2.
making a Bumblebee movie.
The insects
Oh, I
of the
thought you were
sea. Oh
I'm
wait,
gonna say they're remaking Ace Ventura
they're making a tuna
Oh,
fish
that would be
movie
horrible.
called Bumblebee.
with the woman. With the
Oh,
what's her name? Dang it.
what do they call it?
Courtney Cox.
No, a comedic woman that DVD doesn't like.
Oh,
What's her name?
I can't remember. I'm not good with names.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Who is it? Who's your least favorite female comedic actor?
Actress.
Yes.
Actress.
No,
I
that
said
one girl
female.
that played Barbie in a movie or something.
I don't know.
Uh, I'm trying to keep their names in my brain.
Okay, we'll just say Tina Fey. Is that it?
She doesn't bother me.
Okay. I wasn't sure if she was a comedic actress or not.
She was on Saturday Night Live, I think.
Oh,
I
okay.
think
There you
she
go.
counts
She had
as
Sarah
comedic.
Palin, I think, on there.
We'll just say it's Melissa McCarthy.
No, she doesn't bother me, but she's doing some really offensive movies.
And
That my wife
that's,
picked.
and that's my consumption.
Okay.
Usually my wife can be a dirty look when there's like bad language and stuff in the movie. This time she picked the movie, and the whole time I'm like, excuse me.
Was that me?
Some out of studio.
Oh, I
sounds.
did watch some of the Spies Like Us too.
Oh, Spice Like Us 2?
No.
Oh, that'd be
Also,
awesome. They should do that.
I watched part of the middle.
I watched a film called Raw.
That sounds
I've
bad.
heard of it.
Is that about the WWE?
No, it turned out to be French,
Oh, oui, oui.
so it was all subtitled.
Was there surrendering in it?
Surrendering your inhibitions.
Oh,
So it's about this girl that's going off to college,
mistake
to
one.
veterinary school, but she
Mistake
lives.
two.
Oh, but no.
She grows up in this strict vegetarian household.
Oh, yeah, this is the movie I was thinking of.
And she gets there, and the first part of their term is like where they initiate the new students. And part of it, they make her eat a piece of raw meat. And she has to do it or she'll be ostracized.
And it makes her crave raw
It makes her
flesh, right?
crave flesh. And she ends up
Other people?
eating human flesh.
Because at some point you do get
It's a horror movie,
you do get to
right?
castrate sheep using
Yeah.
the old method, which is your teeth.
Is that at French veterinary colleges?
It's most veterinary colleges, from what I've heard.
Okay.
Seems like a really inefficient
That wasn't
way
in the
to do it.
movie, but
I've heard of the movie.
it
I'm
was
not.
pretty French.
There's
I liked
berets
it.
in it.
It was interesting.
They have wild French accents.
Well, they're speaking French
Oh,
So
with
the
French
subtitles?
accents. So you're reading French accent.
it'd be better if they're American
Wait, the
accents.
subtitles
speaking
are in French?
No, they're in English, but heavily accented.
The subtitles were accented.
Yes, they're
How would you write that?
they're written in a
Outrageous
font.
French accent.
the font was quite French. No, it was good if you don't mind reading and
movie?
watching French films. So it does
Wait, is
have
it gory?
it does have some gore, and
Al Gore? Al Gore. I'd watch that.
pretty much the normal amount of nudity for a French film. So
I guess
I don't know how
I
many
don't
French
watch
films I've
French
watched.
films, so I don't
The
know.
closest I've come is Godzilla from 2000. Godzilla 2000.
that was French.
That's French people in it.
Oh, that's true. But it had this huge, giant, naked lizard.
That's true. That's true.
So
Okay.
if you don't mind that stuff, then you should watch it.
Okay.
I don't think I will.
Yeah, it's not for everyone. There are some kind of slow spots, and
Well, it's French.
um,
Can they get the director to stop quitting?
the other movie I watched was a Bruce Willis film. Didn't have any French in it. It was called Hostage.
Oh, I watched the Bruce Willis film
He's
too.
a hostage negotiator, and he has a situation go poorly, so he moves out and becomes sheriff in this small town. Then there's a hostage situation going on, and he has to kind of step back into the role of hostage negotiator, and his family gets involved.
His family?
And Bruce Willis's daughter plays his daughter in the movie. And you're like, yeah, I can see that's his daughter. She looks kind of like him, which is a little unfortunate for her. But
She bald like him?
it was good. It was
Who was it?
a smart kid in it that helps out.
Hmm.
It was good. I liked it. It's on Netflix. So is Raw.
I watched a Bruce Willis movie also.
The Pink
But
Panther
it felt like
strikes
it
again.
was. It feels like I didn't put it on there. I forgot about it.
Oh.
But it felt like it was one of the ones where he is just attaching his name and his picture to it because he's not like the main character and he's not in as much as other people are.
But he gets
it's
top billing.
yeah, he's
Anyways.
a cop. I think they were in Cleveland, and they combat like human trafficking and stuff.
Oh.
So then they introduce this family that's 3 brothers, and the youngest brother is going to marry this girl that basically spent a lot of time as kids at their house.
Oh, he's wearing a squirrel?
Girl.
Oh.
But she goes out on their honeymoon night. He goes out with one of his brothers to a club or something.
On
She
his
goes,
honeymoon?
No, not honeymoon. What's the pre-marriage?
Oh.
Bachelor party.
Bachelor party. There you go.
Okay. That
I
makes
think
She
more
goes
sense.
out with
lot
her
more
friends to a place where some of the traffickers frequent, and one of them comes onto her and she like hits him and like offends him and like says stuff that's mean, but he's kind of being grabby, so probably deserved it. But then she goes out of the club and she gets kidnapped,
Uh-oh.
and so the brothers are going outside the law, and the oldest one is like or the older 2, I think, were both military vets. And they had established earlier that the oldest one has a really bad temper and problems stemming from his time in the military. It goes from there. It's very interesting. It was actually a pretty good movie. I liked it.
What's it called?
I don't remember
That's the Bruce Willis one you didn't put on
Yeah.
the list.
because I didn't remember the name. I think I saw it on Amazon.
Bruce Willis.
2018.
I'm sure there's only a couple movies he's been in. So
Oh, it's a new one?
I think so. Newish.
Recent movies. It's called Glass.
It's not Acts of Violence. I think is it.
Oh, Acts of Violence.
Yep, I think that was it. But they always put him on the front of this thing, which he's making money, I'm sure. So that's fine.
So it's about his character's sons going in.
No, not his kids.
Oh.
They're unrelated. But at a certain point, they're outside the law, and he's a lawman, so he's got to make a decision, kind of,
Oh.
is he going to arrest them because he knows that they killed some people? Type deal.
I like Bruce Willis a lot.
I do too.
There's a new Die Hard movie coming out.
What? I know they're redoing Death Wish.
Oh.
That could be good. Might have been Bruce Willis in that too. Oh, yeah,
Death
there you go,
Wish.
Death Wish.
Right there.
Oh, and they're coming out with a prequel to The Sixth Sense called The Fifth Sense.
Oh, that's
I'm just kidding.
Is none of those names sound familiar, like Cole Hausen? Because the older
Cole
oldest
Hauser?
brother looked. Yeah, there you go. The oldest
And
brother
Sean
looked
Ashmore.
familiar.
Oh, look at their
There's an Ashmore and an
Dead
Ashton.
bugs.
Cole Hauser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think the
He
guy that
doesn't look
played.
anything like Doogie Howser.
The guy that
Oh.
played Ice Guy and
He's in Too Fast, Too Furious. This guy.
oh yeah, he's the main bad guy.
Yeah.
But the next
He
younger
took my
brother
cutter.
is from. He played the Ice Suit or X-Men guy from X-Men.
X2 or whatever.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh,
Sean
yeah.
Ashmore.
Sean Ashmore.
Check it out. It's worth watching. It's a really good movie.
X3, maybe? Oh, it says
2
he
of
was
them.
in X-Men also.
Yeah.
The original.
Yeah.
Cool.
But he was kind of wanted to be the love interest of Rogue, I think. And next I watched.
Keeker, the robot.
Oh, no, the one's actually on my list.
Yeah. Well,
I watched
that's on there. It's right there.
Oh, I did put it on there.
Yep.
Oh,
I was like,
I
that
thought I hadn't.
says
Then I watched Tomb Raider, the
the
newer
new
one.
one?
It's really good.
Oh.
I liked it better than the other one.
I tried watching the original and I got bored.
It feels like Indiana Jones a lot,
The new one?
but then no, the old one.
Oh.
The new one, it is more of an origin story, I guess, of how
Mm.
she became a Tomb Raider. The actress, every time she'd get in situations, she had a very squeaky scream, which was. She's very.
Just like
feminine
St.
in it.
Jimmy.
She got dying and having to go back to the last checkpoint,
Right.
just like me.
I don't think I've ever played a Tomb Raider game.
I to it.
I
I
have
may
not.
have like been handed the controller when someone else was playing and tried it, but that's it.
It seems like it would be something similar to like Uncharted, maybe.
Yeah, not quite that level though.
There's a newer one. I wonder if how good it is.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
And then I watched. Actually, part of this I watched with my youngest son. The Pink Panther Strikes Again. I think is like 1976 when it came out. So the first one, he's constantly causing damage to his chief inspector. Well, in the interim between the first and second movie, the chief inspector cracks up, I guess, and ends up in the loony bin. Then he breaks out and becomes a supervillain. But there were some awesome parts where they sent a bunch of assassins to try to kill Inspector Clouseau. Just his sheer luck keeps him from dying repeatedly. There's a couple times I thought I was going to have to say, cover your eyes, but it was rated PG. So they came right up to the edge and then didn't show anything.
Well, that was before they had PG-13, probably.
But the comedy was, it was top notch. It was so funny. If you like slapsticky, like...
Is this on Amazon Prime?
Amazon Prime, yes.
Okay, I thought I saw it on there.
It's worth watching. I was trying to find
Even if you
something on
haven't seen
there
the
that,
first one
that
recently?
worked. Yeah, I hadn't seen the first one in forever.
Okay.
I think the first one involved some kind of super ray that would make people like disintegrate clothes or something. I remember one of them like that. This one's very funny. It's very good. There's a whole scene where he's trying to break into the evil guy's castle. It involves a drawbridge. It's great parts. It's so funny. He ended up in the water several times trying to get in. And my son actually, once he thought what was happening, was stuck around and watched the end of it with me. He's like, "This is weird, Dad. This is funny." He's laughing hysterically. It's very good. And then I finally watched a show that's been like on Amazon Prime, like in my face for quite a while, called Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
Yeah.
It is awesome. It's epic. I was
Is
watching it before he got here.
I've been
It's
wondering
so
whether I
good.
should watch it.
It's so good. Basically sets up the premise that his entire movie career was just like a cover for him being a black ops agent. But everything in his life works out like an 80s action movie would. It's so good. Like at one point there's a whole crowd of bad guys about to come attack him. And as they're about to move forward, the boss of the bad guy says, Stop. Let's go one at a time so we don't get interfere with each other. So they're running at him, he's doing all these roundhouse kicks and stuff and taking care of them one at a time. It's very funny. I recommend it. It's doesn't take itself serious at all. It's awesome.
Okay.
It's one of those things where it's recommended to me by my shows that have these algorithms like, well, why do I want to watch that? It looks stupid. Then I watch it, it's like, oh, that's so me. So I guess
Amazon, you know me too well.
Then I was introduced to a YouTube. They're only like 2 minutes each, but there's like 4 or 5 episodes called Man on a Buffalo.
Okay.
And I think it's footage from a
Tatanka.
60s or 70s TV show. There was like a cowboy, but instead of a horse, he rides a buffalo.
Okay.
But they split it up into these, and then had a guy singing like what's happening in the. It's worth it. Go watch it. It's awesome. Man on a Buffalo. Just put that in YouTube search and it'll come up.
Okay.
And then I watched a part of a reality TV show on Amazon called Pioneer something. I don't remember the second word.
You can't remember what's
I
called?
can't remember the second word.
All right.
But it's a reality TV show. They take 2 couples and they have them live for a year like they're in the 1870s.
Wow.
They have to build their own log cabins. Pioneer Quest, there you go. What year is that from? The way the filmology looks, I thought it was from like the 80s or 90s, but I thought it was probably really recent. Anyway. It's not.
Season 1.
I mean,
Well,
there's
they
some funny
use
parts.
cameras from the 1800s too.
If you like laughing at people put into situations where it's uncomfortable and lots of bugs and stuff, it's
Does this mean it's from the year 2000?
I think so.
2000.
So it's
what
from
it's
the
filmed.
distant future?
Okay, it's Canada though, so it's like 1980s.
Oh, okay.
Sorry to all the Canadian listeners. Not really though. So it's good. So they show up. They get put out into this pasture. But they
They
show
get
up,
put out the pasture?
all they show up with is, so they put them in period costumes, and then they filled like a wagon full of stuff that would be appropriate for that time
Cholera.
frame. Yeah, cholera.
Consumption.
Smallpox.
And then they hooked 2 workhorses to pull the wagon there,
Okay.
and they had a milk cow. That's pretty. Oh, they said it was like 10 chickens. It seemed like a majority of them were roosters, which seems cruel. And it seems like the people said, and then after a week, they were talking to one of the producers, and the actors or the people in it were telling, "No, we need this." He's like, "We all got blisters because all of the hand implements, like the axes and stuff, are really lacquered. It's like you got to sand that stuff off, otherwise just tear your hands to pieces." And they didn't have gloves for some reason. There's a bunch of other stuff they were missing that they're like, "Okay, well, we're trying to make it realistic. We apparently forgot some stuff."
Oh,
that are required to survive. But it's really quite interesting to see the dynamics between an older couple and a younger couple. And for the first bit, all they have is like a sheep herder's tent with no floor. And it's funny, one time the voiceover was like, and it turned out to be the wettest June in the last 100 years.
oh.
They got soaked. They're trying to figure out how to use a plow with these horses.
Next episode, Donner Party.
Yeah, you're like, I would never ever do that. That looks horrible. And if they would last the whole year, their pay is $100,000.
Wow.
That's it?
For the young
I
couple,
can
they're
work
like,
for a
oh.
whole year and
Well, yeah,
Yeah. I was just thinking.
For the younger
yeah,
couple, it was
could
like,
make that.
well, that'd be cool. I mean, it probably is more money than they'd make in a year. But the older couple, they're like, they're left behind like 3 kids, older kids, but like a successful construction business and stuff. So they didn't need the money, but he was really cool. He thought it was really cool.
Oh.
He's got a great attitude about it. His wife just followed him.
Oh.
Check it
There's
out.
a-
It's called Pioneer Quest.
There's a book that's coming out by Ryan North. It's like how to invent anything in any time period.
Oh, that sounds
It's
cool.
basically written so that if you end up stuck in the past,
It's a book.
In case you end up
I
in a
often
time
wondered
travel.
about that. If you got stuck in the past, would you, with the knowledge you have now, be able to invent some of the stuff that we take for granted
How to
nowadays?
Invent Everything, a survival guide for
That's
a stranded
cool. I wanna
time
buy that.
traveler. It comes out in September. And it's only $20 for the hardcover.
I'd get the Kindle probably.
I was thinking about pre-ordering it because, I mean, it would just be an interesting read.
Yeah.
It's not just like straight up instructions. It's kind of told as a
I would definitely read that.
Yeah.
How did you?
Even
hear
knowing
about it?
like siphon tubes, how those work for irrigation.
I heard about it through the Saturday morning breakfast cereal. Zach from that is friends with Ryan North, so he was pimping it a little bit.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's
It's kind of like that. What's that book series? 14 something.
1492.
Whole town in Arkansas
Oh.
or in Virginia. No, what is it? West Virginia?
Connecticut,
Kentucky?
Kentucky, maybe. I don't know. I haven't read it, but
I
gets
think it's
sent
like
back
West
to.
Virginia. It's a whole mining town
It's-
gets sent back to the 1400s.
It's like something in King Arthur's court. Is it that one or?
No,
Oh, that's a different
it's
one.
just years. It's like a year. I think Pold's read it.
Yeah.
I
So
read
this
the
whole
series
entire
was-
town gets transported back to like
It's like 1492.
1400 Europe,
Mm.
and
It's in
so
Germany, I
their
think.
entire town and all the people in it just end up in Germany in the 1400s or something. So the books written by Eric Flint
Right.
are pretty good. There's other people that write books in the same universe. Those are hit and miss. I read
Okay.
one and it was
I think I
very
read
dull.
all of his ones and they were really good.
Yeah. Like some of them are written by historians and those ones actually tend to be very dull.
Real weird.
I know. But it was an interesting concept.
Yeah, I think I read those. I was borrowing them from the library. I think I actually had to skip one because I didn't have one.
Yeah.
But it was the year I was unemployed, so I had lots of time on my hands.
Oh man.
It's also when I first watched
And
School
blood.
Hand Luke. Well, you got to make money somehow. Oh yeah, that's the end of consumption.
All right. Does anybody have any nerd cred?
Well, speaking of books, I've been expanding my paperback book collection. And I even went as far as making a list of all the books I currently have because I found myself at like thrift stores and bookstores like, oh, wait, do I already have that one? I don't remember, so I better not buy it. And then I get home and realize, oh, I do have
really
that.
need that.
Or, oh, I don't have that.
It's a thrift store. Just buy it, and then if you already have it, just gift
Well,
it.
yeah, because the thrift stores are either like
Gift
50
it to
cents
somebody
or
who
$1.
likes to read
Yeah.
books that are kind of the same as.
Well,
books
and if you already have it, then you can use it for like plain
Ooh.
pigeon type.
Or you can haul up inside and use it as a secret stash.
Ooh. Well, I brought my nerd cred with me.
Oh, all right.
Oh, this is definitely nerd cred.
Picked up my glasses today.
Nice.
There's no tape on them, though.
Not yet.
Here, I've got some tape here somewhere.
I figured on the first day I'd try not to break them, but everything's clear. But after wearing them for a little while, I kind of started feeling seasick.
Oh,
So I've just been wearing them.
I could see that.
You get used to it. Your brain
Yeah.
does.
Well, I feel like I have to like
Your peripheral vision's weird.
manually relax my eyes because they're like trying to
Oh,
Like this.
freak out. Yeah, I have to like. Yeah, so hopefully this will help with driving. Seeing signs from further away is my problem.
Like stop signs.
Well, like reading street signs, like
Oh,
it'd be nice to know where to turn before you got too far to you couldn't slow down fast
it
enough.
reminds me of the initiative I'm starting called the Go Green Initiative, where my goal is to, in order to help the environment, eliminate all stop signs
Yeah,
and stoplights.
they're definitely not green.
Roundabouts everywhere.
they're green sometimes.
Stop signs.
Not one.
Oh, not stop signs, but lights.
So you go on stoplight to a stop sign that turns green. You can just go.
It turns into a ghost
That's a
sign.
good idea. Like if it can sense nobody's coming, it's like
Just
why make
yeah.
people stop when nobody's
Oh.
coming?
Yeah, modern sensors would
Technology.
almost like what they have for stoplights that they don't ever use.
Kooky.
Cool.
I still like the small towns where at night the traffic signal just flashes.
Have you ever been somewhere where it's legal to turn left on red?
If you're turning onto a one-way street.
Right.
What if it's a two-way
If you're in
street?
England,
So when
No,
I
I've
was
never been
in
to a country
when
where
I
they
was in
drive on the
Minnesota,
other side of the road.
they have the flashing yellow ones, which is basically that.
so when I was in Minnesota, I was in this long line of cars waiting to turn left, and this light was just not turning green. And
Yeah,
so
just go.
cars were just going, and I'm like,
Oh, I do that all the
oh
time.
no, what I don't feel comfortable doing that once I get to the front of the line
Why not?
because I'm like, is that legal
breaking
here?
the
Is
law.
it illegal? Am I?
It's probably breaking the law, but
But luckily, it turned green before I got up there, and so I'm like, oh, good.
So was
first time I
it
did that with my
legal
wife
or
and
not?
she got mad.
I don't know.
That's probably
I
not.
think people just know that light is
Doesn't
really
turn.
long and they just go.
There's
Okay.
an Air Force base we lived at that if you went past the stop bar with your tires, it would
The
never
light
turn
wouldn't
green
change.
ever.
Mm.
Or if you were a motorcycle, it also would change.
Oh.
So I had to run that one several times
I run lights on my motorcycle
every
a lot.
morning.
Yeah,
I think they
pretty
made
much
a.
every morning.
I think they're talking about making a law here that make it legal to run a light on your motorcycle if certain conditions.
Oh,
are-
I know in Idaho you can, but this light that I run every morning, if I stop there, it will change.
Okay.
But I just don't have time for that.
Which we appreciate because we're usually waiting for the
I'm
car.
usually the last one there, so.
Oh.
So I've got a list here of nerd cred.
Yes,
Okay.
you see that.
So I wanted to make some fantasy names for my D&D thing,
As one does.
and I got tired of looking at lists online of other people's. I was like, well, I can come up with a way to do this. So I thought back to when I was making characters for myself and my wife, when I was rolling dice to randomly to select. So I thought, oh, I bet I could get Excel to do this.
Heck yeah.
So I built a thing that would randomly pick whether the name started with a consonant or vowel.
Okay.
And then after it made that selection, would then alternate between vowels and consonants for the rest of the name.
Oh.
Randomly selecting from those. I thought, well, that's cool. And I actually, as I was going, just testing it out, I said, oh, that's a cool one. So I just started typing in a cell next to it. the names that I like, because as soon as you do anything, it deletes it and starts a new one because it's random.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I could turn off the auto calculate feature if I wanted to, but then I thought, well, okay, now the pronunciation of these is ambiguous, so I need to write in the list of vowels, like let's say I want a hard A sound, I can make that AE and just put that in there.
Yeah.
But then I started looking in the dictionary at the pronunciation guide and found some weird things that made me upset a little bit.
Yeah, you know, diphthong, that swimming suit or that underwear that you can swim in.
Right. No, one of them was, so there's a list of words pronunciation, like the soft ah sound, like cot. So it's saying, showing the AUGH makes an ah sound. And saw was the next one. And then for. FOR.
Four.
Far.
Four.
Far.
Far.
I did something similar, but I used
I was like, why is that word on the
syllables.
list? It doesn't make sense.
I used
think
complete syllables instead of individual letters.
So it reminded me kind of when we wrote our phonetic alphabet. when we were
Oh
kids.
yeah. And
I need to find that again. I've got it somewhere.
You could probably just remake it.
I know it's in a box. I got it somewhere.
I think I somewhere I even started making a CAD file for all the letters.
That's sounds familiar.
Sounds nerdy.
Just a little bit.
And that's not on your list. Let's get
That's
Get
true.
on with it.
Oh, then I made.
get on with it.
So we're doing a D&D game, and I was having people with 3x5 cards just writing down like their spells.
Which is
And I
tedious.
thought that's really tedious. And why make it tedious for all the players? You didn't make it tedious for me.
Or make it fun for you, you mean?
Yeah, I had fun, but I had some difficulties.
Oh, did you?
I made spell cards for what everyone has right now as spells. Although there's some I need
Now
to
we know how to
duplicate.
spell them.
And on a Sunday, I sat there while watching a TV show on one screen. On another screen, I was typing all these out. Which was another case where I have a book open in front of me, I'm typing over. Then I even put on the back. This one happens to be lined up, kind of. Other ones aren't. I'm not sure how I got that one lined up. It seemed like a couple times I kept on not previewing when I was printing, and so I have a couple sheets that I was practicing that turned out to be the same sheet again. And I was trying to print a different part. Luckily, I tested some on just regular paper before I went into my card stock. But I'll be handing these out to the players so they can know what spells they have and what they do, basically.
That way we're not constantly asking you, what does this spell do?
Yes, I've been trying to improve my knowledge
Or
based on
looking up in the book
spells and
while
stuff.
everyone's waiting.
Right.
How do you? Yeah. How much attack did that do?
Right. And it's something I enjoy doing, stuff like that. Oh, and then for our game also, it's necessary to have pencils, so I wanted to have a way to hold pencils. So I built a pencil holder out of a 2x4.
Awesome.
And the lid is magnets. Just
Cool.
That's cool.
Nice sound
two
effects.
magnets actually would most of the
Would
time
suffice.
hold the pencils in.
Oh.
I went 4 just to make sure they don't fall out.
Yeah.
It's going to be sitting upright in the treasure chest anyways.
Yeah.
That was to replace the idea originally I had of cutting the bottom off of an aerosol can
Oh, yeah.
and hiding them kind of like Jurassic Park style. And I started watching YouTube videos on cutting open cans, and I was like, I don't really feel like blowing myself up today.
Right.
Because the only way I have to get one open would be throwing sparks and stuff. And I was pretty sure I had the can empty,
Yeah.
but how sure are you? I was using spray paint cans, so that made me a little hesitant. Although I might eventually take the project outside this face shield maybe and try it. Oh, I got a laser temperature reader for Father's Day
Oh.
for my youngest son, and I've used it twice already for barbecuing.
Oh.
So I use a metal plate on my grill to cook on.
Uh-huh.
And so I'd go out there and I'd check the temperature of that. When I got to the right temperature, I'd put the meat on.
Nice.
Plus, and I took it to work and we were shooting things with lasers and seeing how hot they were. I shot 2 coworkers like, well, he's hotter than you, but you're cooler than he is. Stuff like that. Oh, and then I started doing the word of the day at work again.
Oh.
I think we just had one called a flivver.
They call him Flivver.
Right. Which a flivver is a old or cheap car.
Oh. Did you put Floop on there yet?
I have not. The shit.
You know, floop.
I can see what people think. People think what that means. See what they think.
What fluke?
And then I use that to teach our new co-op the word "groke," which is a great one.
Yeah.
I got all my family uses it now. Even my wife has used it.
What about words that I came up with? Like nerb.
I'm not playing that on it.
Why? It's a real word now.
They're like, I read the word on there. It was like, well, what does it mean? I was like, look it up.
Ooh.
I'm trying to generate interest in people actually getting the dictionary out.
Mugger. Hey, we use that all the time at my house.
Okay.
And corker.
Oh, and then I was telling a younger coworker about the
You
old
mean corker?
Adam West Batman and the shark repellent one, where there's this shark hanging off his leg. And so I was like, oh, I'll send you the YouTube link to it. So I used the opportunity to click on Rickroll him.
Oh, that's funny.
Which my friend that sits between us, I carpool with, I said him the same thing, and he knows better than to open anything from me. But I thought I got the Klingon one out there. It's my first successful Klingon Rickroll.
Awesome. I gotta try that.
Apparently the same group that did that one also did a Celine Dion song in Klingon.
Oh, really? Which one?
The one from the Titanic
From
movie,
Titanic.
I think.
Oh boy, you gotta find that.
It's awesome.
All right.
I'll stop there.
If you want to contact us, send an email to engineerdyshow@gmail.com, or you can go to theengineerdyshow.com where you can listen to the latest episodes. You can leave comments there. You can sign up to be notified when new episodes drop, I think. And you can also find links to our Facebook and Twitter pages on there. Or you can just search us at Enginerdy Show. While you're at theengineerdyshow.com, click through one of our Amazon links to get to Amazon to do your shopping. And you can get an Enginerdy Show t-shirt by clicking on the shop button in the top menu. Thank you for listening this week. Stay nerdy.
Live long and nerdy.
Are you picturing the picture I told you to picture?
No, yeah.
Sorry, sister.